If you're a trauma therapist in private practice, chances are you're doing two jobs at once. You're a clinician and you're a business owner. And most weeks, one of those jobs is getting almost none of your attention. In this video, I want to get really practical about what it looks like to start owning that business owner identity. And it starts with something deceptively simple. You need to put it on your calendar. Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm a trauma therapist and business coach for trauma therapists who are ready to evolve their practice into something that fits where they are now and not where they were when they started. Today, we are talking about protected time. Time that belongs to your business, not your clients, your business. And let me explain what I mean, because this is not about blocking off time to write notes or finish treatment plans. That's working in your business. What I'm talking about is time to work on your business. Working in your practice is everything that you do to keep the day-to-day running. Writing notes, billing, responding to portal messages, scheduling. All of it has to happen, but none of it's really there to help move your business forward. Working on your business is something else entirely. It's the high-level thinking that actually shapes where your practice is going. Looking at your financials and asking, what are these numbers telling me? Reviewing your policies and noticing where you're quietly hemorrhaging time or income. Looking at your marketing and figuring out what's actually working. Asking yourself whether your current schedule is sustainable or whether you're just managing the chaos week to week. That kind of thinking requires space. And if you're like most trauma therapists I know, that space doesn't exist in your week right now. It's getting crowded out by the next client, the next note, or the next crisis that arises. Let's talk about why this is especially hard for trauma therapists. Context switching. It's what happens when your brain has to shift attention between different types of tasks. And the research is pretty clear that it's costly. Studies show that it can take more than 20 minutes to regain full concentration, even after a brief interruption. Each switch carries what researchers call a switching cost, and those costs add up across the day. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, I switch between clients all day. I'm actually pretty good at this. And honestly, that makes sense. Moving from one client to the next is something we get practiced at. But that's not the kind of switch I'm talking about here. Stepping into your business owner role isn't the same as staying in your therapist role and moving from one client to the next. Switching into a business owner role is different. It requires a real shift in orientation, in the questions you're asking and in the lens that you're looking through. And when you're sitting in between sessions, depleted from clinical work or just trying to get through the day, you're not going to make that shift, which means the business owner work, that website that needs updating, the intensive model you've been wanting to build, the fee structure that you know needs to change, that stuff just keeps getting pushed to another day. And not because it doesn't matter to you, because you never actually made the shift. So what does business owner time actually look like? Here's what I recommend. And I want you to think about this as an experiment. Try setting aside 3 consecutive hours each week dedicated entirely to your business owner work. Not your clinical work and not your admin work. Your business. My suggestion is to put this early in the week on a day when you tend to be less depleted. Monday mornings can tend to work really well for a lot of therapists. And here's the key. You schedule it exactly the way you'd schedule a client. It goes in your calendar. It has a specific start and end time. And you don't take a client during that window. Now, it may be easier said than done. In the things that come up naturally, maybe I could fit another client in, or my client needs some extra support this week. All of those are real, but this is the practice. Learning to protect time for your business is part of becoming a business owner. That 3 hours is not flex time. It's business owner time. So what do you actually do with those 3 hours? I recommend working across one of those 5 domains: financials, operations, time management, marketing, or professional development. You're not going to tackle all 5 every week. You'll pick one focus for the session and you'll move something forward. Maybe your website hasn't been touched in years and it's quietly sending the wrong message to potential clients. That becomes your focus for a few sessions. Maybe you haven't raised your rate in years and you keep putting it off. This is when you sit with that discomfort. Maybe you've been toying with the idea of adding intensives to your practice, but it lives entirely in your head. This is where you start mapping it out. And when you've got a bigger project, something like developing a group curriculum or building out an intensive offering, you keep your 3-hour block as the anchor, and then you might need to add time elsewhere when you can find it. But those 3 hours stay for your business every week. If you can ever carve out an entire day devoted to your business owner work, I would say do it. No clients that day, just your business. That kind of extended focus is where you'll make real movement on the things that feel perpetually stuck. Now, if you're not sure where to start when working on your business, I put together the free guide called 5 Domains to Establishing Your Business Owner Identity. It's a self-assessment built around the 5 domains that help you determine whether your practice is actually set up to support you: financials, operations, time management, marketing, and professional development. There's 20 questions, a scoring guide, and a clear next step. I've also included 15 Claude prompts, one set for each domain, and those are there to help you go deeper in whatever area needs your attention most. And the link is in the description below. I want to close our video today with something that honestly has made me really happy to witness. In my Transform Your Trauma Therapy Practice graduate membership community, we meet every Monday for an hour. It started off as a co-working and support call, but what I've watched happen is that many of the therapists in that group have now built a larger block of time around that Monday hour. They've made Monday their business owner morning. And the results, well, they've been real. Websites that were sitting half finished for a year are now published. Intensive programs that were just ideas are now fully designed and being marketed. Policies that were causing confusion have actually been revised and they're being enforced. These are not therapists who suddenly had more hours in their week. They're therapists who decided to protect time for their business the same way that they protect time for their clients. That shift from fitting your business into the leftover corners of your week to actually owning a block of time for it, that's when it starts to feel like being a business owner, not just a therapist who also has a practice to run. If you're ready to start, grab the assessment. Block out 3 hours on your calendar this week and see what happens. You might be surprised at what those 3 focused hours can do for your business. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.